Joanne Wood moved to Lossiemouth Caravan Park during lockdown. She knew she wanted to stay. The park was family owned then, but at the start of summer, Park Holidays took over. Since then, owners who have been at the park for decades have been told to upgrade or move on, but the owners aren't leaving without a fight. Joanne Wood joins me now. Good morning, Joanne.
Good morning.
And also with us this morning are owners Ian and Jean Bancroft and Gary Rycroft, solicitor and legal expert on Rip-Off Britain. Good morning to you as well.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Excellent. Let's start with Joanne first of all. So what is the current situation at the park?
Hi there, Ronan. Thank you, first of all, for giving us a platform to expose the holiday park industry, which is obviously the bigger issue. But our experience here at the hands of Park Holidays UK has been of a predatory company who has, in a matter of weeks, already ripped the heart out of the friendly, safe, supportive community here at Lossiemouth Bay, which is an extension of the sea town and wider Lossiemouth community itself. We have, under the Christie, the previous owner, we've all been given a contract, a license agreement, if you like, which was an initial term of, say, 10 years, but there was a little sentence after that which said renewable yearly thereafter, also known as the Christie Clause. Now, Park Holidays have come in and they have said, and I quote, that any licence agreement prior to Park Holidays UK remains unchanged. However, they are not taking into consideration the renewable yearly thereafter. And as a result, owners are being asked to leave when their initial term is up. Now, people came here to stay for a long, long time with their initial van, and they enjoyed the community here for years and years. Some people have been here for over 10, 12, 15 years and longer, and they are being asked to leave now, either upgrade or get out. And upgrading means a 40 grand plus upgrade. Who can afford that?
So the terms of your lease, or whatever you want to call it, when you moved in, did it say you could stay on as long as you wanted to?
As long as that renewable yearly thereafter, which
on what conditions?
On no condition, as long as you kept your van nice and paid your annual rental.
Okay, so we will be getting a statement from Park Holidays in just a second to hear the other side of this as well, of course. But what is the feeling amongst the people on the park then? I mean, what stories can you tell me? Is it people that decided they were going to stay there for the rest of their lives and are now having to move?
Some people, I mean, we know it's not a residential site, okay? People moved off site for a month, a year to allow holiday site status, that's fine. People sold up their family homes and retired here on the back of the Christie Clause, which allowed people to stay after their initial term was up. However, Park Holidays will not talk to us as a group. They have been isolating and intimidating the people, the owners here of the park since they moved in. They have not been gently coming in, giving us as a group information, what to expect now that the Park Holidays have taken over. None of that. They've been isolating people. People have had to go to speak to James Ellison, Park Holidays general manager here, and they have been told individually to sell it back to Park Holidays, upgrade or get out. We have not been told as a group what to expect, and that has been frightening for a lot of the people here, especially the vulnerable.
Ian and Jean Bancroft, you're with us as well. When did you both buy your van?
We bought our van in 2011.
And has the same thing happened to you as that has happened to Joanne then?
More or less, yes. We were informed that our 10-year license agreement had expired. I approached the general manager seeking to get my tenure extended. And I was told that because my van was just over 10 years old, it was considered to be an old van and I would have to upgrade. So I explained to them that there's no way I could afford to spend £40,000 plus on an upgraded caravan. So the upshot was I was told, well, basically, at the end of March, which is when my site fees were paid up to, we would have to remove the caravan from the park.
So where does this leave you then, Ian? What are you going to do?
Well, at the moment, we've got, if you like, a 6-month period of grace. But once that 6 months is up, we're having to apply either for sheltered housing or council accommodation.
And I mean, I take it that isn't your first preference. I mean, what do you hope might happen?
Well, I'm hoping that someone at Park Holidays is going to see sense and allow us to say give us an extension to our license agreement. What they've said is that because of the pandemic, Park Holidays were going to allow a 6-month extension, which in that case it would take us up to September of next year. However, what they haven't said is that whether that is a free gratis gift from them, or whether it would still be required to pay 50% of the annual site fee.
Yes. Okay, Joanna, I understand that local MP Douglas Ross came to see you all. What's been the result of that?
Well, he then went to Park Holidays for a meeting with, I believe, James Ellison, the manager here. And the feedback has been that he really is on our side, that he can't see the sense of the way that this holiday park's been run by Park Holidays. It seems, again, like intimidating tactics. I mean, things like letters of intimidation have been sent out to owners individually, saying that their initial licence agreement term is up and it will not be renewed. Why can't they renew it? Because can I just give you an example? It's really important. This. If Jean and Ian were allowed to sell their caravan back to Park Holidays, they might get, say, 10 grand if they're lucky for their caravan, okay? I have got in front of me right now, printed out just days ago from Park Holidays website, a caravan from 2014 that's 8 years old, which is for sale at £38,995. A new owner will buy that and get a licence attached to that, probably for 12 years, up to the 20-year maximum that Park Holidays allows. So why can't Ian and Jean get an extension of their licence? That's my question to all park holiday owners, to all park site owners.
Yes, and sorry to come back to Douglas Ross. I mean, is he hopeful that something can be, there can be an agreement reached?
I think so. I mean, we haven't really heard whether or not he's hopeful, and we certainly haven't heard anything from Park Holidays saying that they're going to change. We also have Richard Lochhead coming on Wednesday, so again we'll see what comes of that.
And have people moved on then because they can't afford to buy a new van?
Yes, they have moved on already, because people are generally compliant, aren't we? We don't want a fight on our hands. We want to live a happy life. Mm-hmm. There's nobody wants a fight, especially not as you get older. And there are a lot of elderly who have also been intimidated through this process. I mean, Jean here, I'm standing in Jean's wonderful garden at the moment. She was asked to take all our potted plants away because you're only allowed 6, and she had a beautiful garden here. Mm-hmm. We saw people, this is again intimidation tactics, we saw people in a van from Park Holidays going around tearing up whirligigs from plots, from private plots here, and chucking them into the back of a van because whirligigs aren't allowed. Did they phone people and say, could you please take down your whirligig? No, they didn't. Mm-hmm. They just have intimidating tactics to frighten people off their land. It is like the Highland clearances all over again. Bully boy landlords coming in, getting rid of tenants for profit.
Well, someone else has texted in saying, I've read about people having to leave their caravan sites due to age of their van or upgrade. Myself and others are having the same issues at our caravan park, Thurston Manor, Owners Verdant Leisure. Over 20 caravans have to leave site or upgrade. We're standing by for a statement from them. But let's hear from Park Holidays then, because we have had a statement that one of our producers has voiced up.
When customers originally bought a holiday home at Lossiemouth Bay Holiday Park, they signed a contract which specified the number of years that they would be permitted to occupy the pitch in the holiday home they were buying. For a number of customers, that period is now approaching its end, or, in some cases, ended a few years ago, and they have been allowed to remain on an annually renewed licence. We have therefore written to all these customers, advising them that their licence to occupy the pitch will come to an end on the 31st of March 2023. When the licence period expires, customers can sell the holiday home or relocate it to another park not owned by Park Holidays UK. However, for many owners, the preferred option is to part exchange it for a new or newer model. Park Holidays UK will always endeavour to extend preferential buying terms to such customers. The licence agreement is consistent with the wording in the model contract provided by our industry body, BH and HPA, and widely used throughout the parks industry. It also includes the important provision that the holiday home cannot be used for residential purposes, and the buyer must provide us with regularly verified evidence of a permanent address elsewhere.
Okay, Gary Rycroft, solicitor and legal expert on Rip-Off Britain, is with us. Let's bring you in. What did you make of the statement, and what do you think about what's happening with the whole situation, Gary?
Yeah, well, horror stories, and as Duran was just saying, it really does feel like the Highland clearance is all over again. For me, there are two significant legal issues here. First of all, there is the difference in law that we have between sites that are classed as residential and have planning permission for residential, and sites that are classed as leisure homes or holiday homes, and there's a significant difference in the legal rights that people have. If you're on a site that has residential planning permission, we've got the Mobile Homes Act 1983, which gives people legal rights which are akin to the rights that you have if you're a tenant renting a residential property. Unfortunately, we don't have that position here, but I know that there are people in Parliament, and Douglas Ross MP might want to pay attention to this. There are people in Parliament who are trying to get the rules for holiday homes much more lined up with the rules that we have for residential park homes, because, as we've been hearing, there are people like Ian and Jean who are treating this as their home. There are people who have retired to live effectively full-time on these sites, and those people need to have security of tenure. So that's the kind of big issue. But
is that not the crux of it, though, that it wasn't a residential park as such, and wanting it to be so doesn't change that fact?
That's the crux of it as far as park homes are concerned. But what I'm saying is there is a big overarching issue here that we aren't going to be able to resolve in terms of looking at the law and getting Parliament to intervene to give people like Ian and Jean the rights to stay in what are their homes. So park homes are, in my view, correct to draw that distinction. Where I do want to pick up park homes, though, and this is the second point I was going to make, is that it seems to me to be inherently unfair for the rules to be changed. People signed up to what they understood to be the particular rules of those sites. Mm-hmm. They signed an agreement. The actual crucial wording, of course, is the wording that's been referred to in the contract. You were signed up for a 10-year term in most cases, and then it was going to be renewable. Now, we really need to understand what was the meaning of that. What did people... That's the important...
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit there, Gary. Let's go back to Joanne. Are you at all encouraged by what Gary has said there?
He's lost it as well.
Hello, Joanne, are you there? Hello, Joanne.
I'm just going to come in on Ian's phone here.
All right.
I've lost your signal somehow. So I'm still here.
Yeah, so what just we've only got a few seconds left. So what are you going to do now then? Do you have lawyers on board? Are you going to take legal action?
We are definitely going to take legal action if that's required. If Park Holidays UK do not listen to us, we're being supported by the Caravan Owners Advisory Team. So we'll take advice from them, and we are here till the death.
Because it is, of course, your home, isn't it? Well, I mean, it is a complicated subject, and you know, we've heard from Park Holidays as well, who have their particular take on it. But great to hear from you all. Thank you very much indeed for joining us on BBC Radio Scotland.